Welcome to Blue Friday Bets, the only Seahawks only gambling show in the multiverse, part of the Seahawkers Podcast Network. I'm your host, Clinton Bonner, and I am joined by my good buddy, the Montana Seahawker and vocalist, Adam Emmerich. Adam, how you doing today, buddy? But you've got Blue Friday Bets, but on a Thursday, and there's a reason for that, bud.
There is, because we've got a big Thursday night divisional game coming up here against the stupid Arizona Cardinals and that stupid stadium and
Stupid. Yes, double
all
stupid.
that stuff, right? Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. Like we've seen the Cardinals go out and do some things this year. Obviously, I think we're all feeling pretty good about our Seahawks after last week. And I'm very curious, Clinton, how this reflects in your bets, because I had an underwriting theme to a lot of my bets here. I'm wondering if you have some connective tissue to yours as well. But before we get there, I need you to take yourself a little victory lap, Clinton, because last week, you're the big winner. Even though we weren't able to put out a show because of timing and all that stuff, you kicked my ass last week. So congratulations.
Thank you. Went 2 for 3. I'd say my most proud moment was I did select a JSN anytime touchdown at plus 120. Didn't have quite the chutzpah to say first touchdown of the game, because that would have paid quite nicely. But I went 2 for 3. Nice, easy little victory. I'll take the lap. I appreciate that. And the way folks could reward us, Adam, is by, if you're out there on youtube.com/Seahawkers podcast, hey, give it the likes, give it the subscribes, drop the comments, hype the video. There's like 1,000 things you could do nowadays, but share it with 1212s as well. And for the folks out there, Blue Friday Bets, yeah, it's a gambling show. We're going to look at the props and parlays, but it's just another way to examine the team we love, the matchup we're getting fired up about. And if gambling is not your thing, I would say, then go check out our preview show with Mr. Phil. We did our What If Spectacular. Plenty of content out there for folks to dive into, Adam. And what do you say we get going, bud? We get rocking and rolling and bet one right away.
Hit it.
All right, perfect. All right, so the way it goes, it's like gentleman rules, golf rules. I won last week, so I'm on the tee box. All right, so I'm going to something that won for me last week as well. A little combo here. Easy squeezy. Talk about golf. You want to take that 3-iron out of the bag and put one down the middle. Okay.
Oh, 3-iron, easy peasy. Okay. All right.
Easy peasy. Off, then right down the middle, like a little maybe 190.
And not a 5-iron, not an actual easy peasy club. Like you're taking the low lofted iron off the tee. All right, cool. All right. What do you got?
Take a 3, maybe a 4. All right, so bet one. I've got a little combo package. I got Darnold to go over 200 yards passing, and I got Kyler Murray to go over 150 yards passing. Need both of them to happen for minus 132. Vegas has Darnold at about like 230 or something like that, and they got Murray somewhere like in the, I think, the 180s or 200s. So I'm taking both down, putting them together, and I think this is going to hit. And I think the Cardinals are going to have to throw the ball. And that's my philosophy there. So what do you think, Adam? Minus 132 to get out of the gate. How do you like it?
Yeah. What was the Darnold passing yardage?
200.
Oh, 200. Okay. I thought you said 250 right out of the gate. Okay. At 200, I like this a lot, to be honest. And I love your logic in terms of what's going to have to happen for the Cardinals offense on Thursday night. The loss of James Conner, that could be the biggest news for their entire season.
Pretty big.
I mean, everything runs through him. I know they have Trey Benson. I get that.
Yep.
But I mean, is he James Conner? The answer is no. And that's a big deal. So at that point, they're going to have to put the ball in Kyler's hand a little bit. Plus the Seahawks have been good about stopping the run quite a bit throughout these first 3 games. Darnold to go over 200, just a low number.
Yeah,
and that should be, that's a fairly average quarterback performance to get that. And
it's even below average a little bit too, because he's done it 2 out of 3. The game 1 versus the Niners, he was at 180, whatever. But like I'm almost like throw out game 1 at this point, because it just was so confined and not at all let loose.
Yes.
Against the Steelers, he almost got to 300, and then last week he throws 18 passes, which I think he'll throw more. Hopefully not 40, but 18's not much. And he got to 230 last week. Chunk plays have been his friends. So yeah, man, I'm glad to hear you like it. I see that you have a Sam Darnold bet queued up for bet one yourself. What are you doing, bud?
Yeah. I like your odds a little bit better on yours here at -132, but I've got Sam Darnold versus Kyler Murray head to head in passing yards. And I thought this was for the half. Nope, this is for the whole game. I swear it was for the half. It doesn't
maybe
matter.
it may have been. We could correct it. It's all good. It may be. I could correct it even in real time. It's okay. So you're saying you wanted it for the first half?
Yeah, that's what I thought the bet was when I
might
looked
be.
at it on the screen. The summary that I sent you, yeah, I probably should have hit the more info button when I sent it to you. But long story short, I love the idea of this versus thing, head to head, Darnold versus Kyler. I think this is going to be a very difficult day for the Arizona Cardinals in their offense, and for a lot of the reasons I talked about earlier. And I wanted to do the halftime bet because then you got to bet in the clubhouse early, and that's always fun and nice. So I've got Sam Darnold to have more passing yards than Kyler Murray at -150 at halftime.
So I think it's the halftime part's interesting. I think what we've been seeing from the Seahawks offense is that they've been getting off to some fast starts, which is good. Now, that could be a bit variant. So we'll see what happens there. But I like the idea of Seattle loosening things up, right? And Sam's been, again, we talked about this in the preview show. What if it's like, hey, you don't got to, if clutch doesn't mean only fourth quarter, there's times to be clutch in the first quarter. And Sam has done that. Sam's gotten us out to leads and really kind of gotten some nice chunk plays early, usually JSN early in the game. Of course, the Pittsburgh game, you got the nice connection with Torrey Horton for the touchdown there too. So I do like this. And it also makes me get fired up for like our early stage defensive performance. Can we get Kyler frustrated early? And I do think we're going to be able to. So, man, I like it. I like it for the whole game as well. But if it's for the half, then so be it, dude. I could get behind it. So, any other parts on this for you?
Oh, just this is less on what Sam and the offense is going to be able to do in the first half. This is everything about what the Seahawks defense is going to do to Kyler Murray in the first half. That and you'll see kind of that's a connective theme throughout my bets here.
Yeah, got it. Starting to pick it up, right? I'll hop on to bet two for myself. And let me see here. Oh yeah, this one. I told you I found some doozies this week, right? So
yeah, you did.
Sometimes I like to go between, FanDuel, then hop on over to DraftKings and maybe check some other books out. This one was found on DraftKings, and I like this one. And I got some logic for you. So bet two, if you could see it on screen or audio, I got AJ Barner and Torrey Horton. They just need 15 receiving yards a piece, and I get a pretty smooth +162. So $10 will pay $16.20. Now, AJ Barner, I don't think he got there game one. He absolutely got there in game 2 and 3. Torrey Horton, I think, has gotten this in all 3 matchups. And for either of these dudes, we could very well be talking about a single reception. AJ Barner got a reception last week for 23 yards. I don't think he'll get skunked. And I do think Torrey Horton is now safely in the zone where I can't envision a game where he's not hurt and not getting at least 15 yards. So +162, I like this combo deal. What do you think, man?
It's funny, when I read this bet, when you first put it on the screen, I was kind of like, yeah, that's an interesting idea here, because in my mind, just up in my feelings was AJ Barner, like, we've barely used him. He's barely been targeted. Like,
I think he's only got four receptions so far. Yeah,
he does. Yeah. I was like, man, like, to get over 15 yards, like, that's quite the bet. And then also too, like, Torrey Horton not getting many targets, but I didn't think that AJ Barner had more than 15 yards except for one game. And then you look through it and you're absolutely correct. He's had 23 and 26 yards in week 2 and in week 3. So that I like it, but I don't know. It's more
a little
just
risky,
the volume of targets. Yeah.
Right.
These two have been receiving. And I do think if the Seahawks are going to take the passing game to the next level, that these are the two key players in the receiving game that need to be targeted more and integrated more. And so there's a little wish casting there, a little bit of, going with some things that have happened here, but
yeah.
I'm medium on this, but at +162, that gets a little spicy. I dig that.
it's getting a little spicy, turning the heat up a little bit. Arroyo is on the injured list. We don't know because it's only been like projected because they're not practicing because it's a short week and the whole thing. So we just don't know if we're going to get Arroyo either. That would obviously benefit. The thing too, for me with Barner being lightly targeted so far, and that's just facts, is that like last game, it's like, I could kind of throw away week 1 because we talked about that. Week 3, I'm like, well, our quarterback threw the ball 18 times, so I think that gets somewhere into the high 20s. Hopefully that's about it. Hopefully not even into the 30s, but maybe low 30s. And if he does, then I could easily see 1 or 2 more receptions for Barner. And he's just a rumbling, stumbling kind of guy. So, but I do think that's the riskier part of that bet for sure. All right. So you've got something queued up for number 2 that is really hoping that our defense just keeps doing what they're doing. Take it away, dude.
Oh, I mean, you call it hoping. I call it knowing. They have not allowed more than 17 points in 3 games, and that's against some teams that, I mean, I think the Steelers are a better offensive football team than the Cardinals. I mean, again, low bars, and I don't think that the Steelers are playing awesome, but Niners a better offensive football team when they have their guys than the Cardinals. I don't see the Cardinals putting up more than 14 points in this game. I think it's going to be a massive struggle for these dudes. If they even get to 14, I'll be surprised, to be completely honest. And then I don't think the Seahawks are going to score a ton of points either. This Cardinals defense is 5th in the league when it comes to points per game. And look, you can point to quality of competition for sure. There's no doubt about that. Saints, Panthers have been on their schedule, Mac Jones and the Niners. But I don't think the Seahawks are going to follow up a 44-point performance with another 35-point performance. We just don't see that out of this team very often. Usually, like, we'll have that big game, and then it kind of comes back to earth a little bit. But they're going to score enough to win this game. I think it's going to be something like 21-10, 21-14. So I've got under 39.5 points total for the game score at plus 137, and getting those plus odds for what I think is almost a guaranteed low scoring game. I really like this one. This might be my favorite bet this week.
Well, you get a couple of things. It is also Thursday night football, and I'm not going to say always because that's just not factually correct. Often Thursday night football could be a slop fest. It just is. And I was actually listening to Hasselback was on with a Hawk Blogger on Tuesday, and he was asking about like, well, what did you like? Did you like Thursdays? It's like, actually, I loved them. And that was a curious answer. And so, he asked like, why did you like Thursdays? And he's like, well, because the defense is not throwing anything new at you. He's like, they're not getting something in 2 weeks. So if you already know an opponent, then you just know your opponent. So that was really interesting insight from Hasselback. With all that said, a lot of Thursday night games are sloppy. They're just, dudes are still either dinged up. There's not like special, extra plays woven in, and that kind of cuts both ways. And often we've been through some 6-3 doozies and stuff like that on Thursday nights. So they can be depressed, right? I'd say for this bet, Adam, I think the bigger bustability is if Seattle is really actually finding a groove. They put up 31 versus the Steelers, 44 versus the Saints. Now, I don't think that's repeatable because block punt return, et cetera, et cetera. That part that's high variance. You just don't know. Might you get it? Sure. Is it likely? No, it's not likely. But if Seattle could pitch into the high 20s, this one has a pretty good shot of busting. So I think Seattle might surprise to the upside with how many points they can put on the board.
If you think the Cardinals are going to put up more than 14 points, then sure. But I don't think I don't see a path for them.
Yeah, we'll see. It's football's weird, and sometimes things happen and bus plays happen and all that stuff. But beyond that, like their offense actually putting up a lot of points against us, I don't see that. So pretty safe. Plus 137 feels pretty good. We go to bet 3, Adam, and hearkening back, giving some love to the boy Prince. He's not with us this year, but he is here in spirit. I've got my own little Wilson 300 cooking here. So bet 3. Yes, it's a little bit of inside straight, sort of, but it actually might parlay. And like if this hits, then the thing you you said might hit as well with your last bet. I got the Cardinals to be under basically 21, so under 20 and a half, right? So 20 and under, and then Seattle to be over 22 and a half. So as an example, 23-19 final, this pays 305. So this could be, I like that this could be anything. This could be 52-3 and it hits. So obviously means I think Seattle's going to win, but going with what you just said about where you think the Cardinals might land. What do you think about that plus 305 in this combo?
I hate it because this is a great bet. I love this bet. I think this is, look, dude, if this one doesn't hit this week, I will be stunned. I will be stunned. Look, I understand that the Cards defense has looked good on paper. The stats say what they say in terms of how many points they're giving up a game. But I do think that the Hawks should get to somewhere. I mean, I keep saying about 21 points for them, so I could see them easily getting over 22 and a half here.
One more
I don't think, I don't think that they're going to end up scoring like 17 in this game. Like, I think they're going to, and that's going to be the hard part, is the Seahawks getting over 22 and a half on this bet. The Cards under 20 and a half, I think that's basically a lock. And so this is, I like that it's not a very narrow point span. I like that you've got, some room on either side here. And at plus 305, that is spicy.
Yeah, careful. Like, I thought so too. Yeah. I was like, I was playing with the dials because they have little dials, and this was in DraftKings also. And I'm just like ticking it down, ticking it. Yeah, this is in DraftKings, ticking it down. I'm like plus 305 for that, when I think it's a pretty likely outcome. And this was after the line moved, because when we talked earlier, just on Tuesday, it was Cardinals giving 1.5. Seattle was the underdog. 24 hours later, it completely reversed. It was Seattle giving 1.5. A 3-point swing in Vegas that's a huge amount of money moving one way. So whether that's good, bad, or ugly, we'll find out tomorrow night. Well, actually, this is going to air Thursday morning. We'll find out tonight. But the money is certainly moving towards Seattle. So it's interesting.
Especially if the Cards were initially favored by 1.5. Like, I can't imagine that there was too many bets going towards the Cards there. That money had to be flowing towards Seattle at that point. I mean, everybody and their dog had to be like, what are we talking about?
And to continue your defensive theme, if you're going to have to bet on a Cardinal, I think you chose one that's at least very interesting to talk about. So take away your bet 3, bud. Go ahead.
Yeah. So again, I think they're going to have a tough time punching it into the end zone. And we have seen that the defense has given up extended drives even to bad teams like Spencer Rattler last week. You even heard Coach Mike kind of bemoan that on the podium, be like, look, we gave up some extended drives we can't be doing. And some of that's been penalties. Some of it's just been they've been able to get, a couple conversions and get down there. I don't think they're going to punch it in the end zone, but I do think they're going to move the ball a tiny bit. And look, at that point, kicking field goals, trying to stay in it. And I think this is why they're going to be underneath that, 14-point threshold. I see Chad Ryland having to kick field goals. I'm trying to go for a almost Wilson 300 as well here at plus 254. Their field goal kicker, Chad Ryland, 3+ field goals made. That's totally a bet against the Cardinals offense, not for Chad Ryland.
Right. The best part about this bet for me is when he goes 2 for 3 and we win the game by a lot. This is going to be delightful for me. That's the best of all worlds. I can't wait to be like 2 out of 3. You missed this. We still win. And I'm celebrating another week of Blue Friday Bets championship. But hey, man, if you got to take something at plus 254, I like that it's another way to really put the chips behind Seattle's defense, even if there's a little bit of a bend, but very little breaking going on in the desert. I kind of dig that, dude.
Yeah, I mean, look, as long as Chad Ryland doesn't do me like Darion Kendrick did last week, I'll be just fine. I was Darion Kendrick's hands away from winning last week.
Yes. I at one point I thought he could only catch interceptions if his feet were not on the ground. I thought one works at a time. It's but then he gets the pick later, and I went back and watched it, and his feet were on the ground, when he caught that pass. So there goes my theory. But I thought for sure he could only use some pair one at a time, but we'll see.
Hey, good theory.
Yeah, it was something. It really lasted. Well, Kendricks played good ball, but it was now in retrospect kind of comical that he busted you on that one. All right, you've got your
Yeah.
Fail Mary. Why don't you take it away? Again, if you're going to put any sort of anything on a Cardinal, this might be the right guy. You got a combo bet here. What's your Fail Mary?
Yeah. So I had a hard time finding something that I liked. This was actually a pre packaged parlay from DraftKings. They had this at the top of the page here. And I generally don't like betting on TD scores just because it is such high variance
Sure.
and it can change a lot week to week. But I got Ken Walker with a anytime TD, Trey McBride with an anytime TD, and then JSN with an anytime TD for a big plus 1400. That gets me to Fail Mary territory. Yep. This also plays into the idea that the Seahawks are going to do fine on offense and find their groove and be able to score what they need to score. And, you know, Trey McBride's damn good. He's their best player on offense outside of James Conner. And I could see them maybe, possibly, Kyler getting lucky and finding him in the end zone once. But again, Fail Mary's big odds. You're just looking for something. And that's what I found here. Something.
Yeah, and I think again, it was prepackaged for you. That's great. But for a Fail Mary, you got the three dudes who are most likely to score touchdowns. Okay. That's there's definitely worse places to put a dollar. And for the reminder out there, the Fail Mary, first of all, must be plus 1,200 or longer odds to qualify. And it is only a dollar bet, the Sunday rubber, the Sunday scratcher, as they call it. And that's as good as a Fail Mary as we've seen. By the way, you're the only person to hit a Fail Mary this year. You did that after the Steelers game. That you hit that one.
Damn near hit last week.
I know, you were really close. Right. What was it last week? You were super close last week.
I had Seahawks to win by 25-30.
That's right. They won by 31. That's right.
And they won by 31. Yeah. Between that and Darion Kendrick, dude, like it was right there.
Yeah. What a shame. All right. So my Fail Mary, my Fail Mary this week. This again, he's one of my favorite Seahawks. If Julian Love is my favorite Seahawk on defense, this guy is my favorite Seahawk on offense. And I want the ball in his hands more. AJ Barner, yes, it's an anytime touchdown, but it has to be in the first quarter. So first quarter, AJ Barner touchdown, plus 2,200. Again, it looks like Arroyo may or may not play. Even if he plays, he's dinged. So that's Salbert. Okay, cool. Barner's obviously, the more the pass catcher between those dudes. Clearly, I think it's obvious that Sam likes him a little bit at least, and we know how Macdonald feels about him. So I don't know, not going to drain too far. A touchdown, first quarter, AJ Barner plus 2,200. Why not for a dollar? What do you think?
Well, I mean, for a dollar scratcher, he's had one touchdown in 3 games, so. You know, I mean, it's not like he's scored
four last year for a rookie, right? So
right, but it also shows that it can happen.
Sure.
That he can score. That he's a part of that red zone philosophy. Trying to get it in the first quarter, that gets tough. You know, when you narrow your time down. But again, these are plus 2,200. This is a long of long shots. It's the longest of them. So. Yeah. Look, I like wish casting a little bit too with your Fail Mary, trying to get AJ Barner going, trying to make sure that he becomes the next big part of this offense, which I think is really important for their future going down the stretch this season. I like it well enough for a Fail Mary, and it's easy to root for, man, because let's go AJ Barner. I'm with you. He's one of my favorites too.
Let's turn $1 into 22 American dollars. And folks, if you want to contribute anything to our show, whether that's liking it, subscribing, anything like that, or if you've got some extra shekels and you want to just support us, value for value, right, Adam? They can go to getintheflock.com. Tell folks what they do receive. What's the value they get back?
Oh, well, they get this face, and that's not value at all. Okay, you want me to find value? No, we do a number of shows every single week. You know, whether it's the live reaction show, whether it's your 3 on 3 out recap show, which is freaking awesome. You know, with a little bit of film study in there, the most unique preview show in all the world in What If with Mr. Phil the Protector, and obviously Blue Friday Bets, and so you get all of that. You get to get in, maybe say the Discord. If you get to the $3 a month or more, you can get in the Ring of Honor. There's all sorts of things that come with that. And you get the satisfaction of knowing that you're helping a couple dork shops live their dream doing Seahawks podcasting, and we appreciate it.
Hey man, it's week 4, which is going fast already, which is nuts. We got this game coming up tonight because this is going to air tomorrow. This is maybe, I don't know if it's a test or not. I think we're going to win. And with that, but it's still a division game on the road, short week, and with a defense that, man, that's the test to me. I think we kind of nailed that part, right, Adam? It's like, look, man, if Seattle could come out and be kind of surgical on how they want to operate the offense and dictate what it looks like on our offensive side of the ball against that's a good linebacking core. They have pretty good DBs, and that is a legit defensive line, just stacked with veterans across the defensive line. So if we could kind of dictate and play our game and just roll into the desert and roll out at 3-1, Adam, I'm going to be just kind of tweaking my expectations for this season because they start to get a little spicy if we're 3-1 after 4 weeks, bud.
3-1 would look great. Just having a division win in your back pocket after giving up the game to the 49ers is a huge deal. I think their linebackers are okay. I think their front four is pretty good. DBs are good. Outside of Budda Baker, no, they're not. They're not good at all. In fact, they're bad. That's the category that I'd put them in. I don't know that I'm going to look at this game as a test for the Seahawks, just because division games, Thursday night, things get weird, all that. But defense travels. Defense is consistent. This defense has been very consistent through the first 3 weeks. And I just don't see how a guy who can't ride the rides at fairs at quarterback can beat this defense on a Thursday night. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait.
Let's put them in our little pockets, a little poly pocket, right? So awesome, dude. Yeah. I think with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.